Hey, what's going on, guys? So, I got a new neck knife here, and I need a lanyard for it. And here, I got a bunch of ball and chain. This was a Temu find for $2 or something ridiculous. And this is black, beaded chain. We have some connector pieces here as well. I forget the exact diameter for this. I know they obviously have a bunch of sizes. It might say it on here, which would be nice. But it doesn't, of course. But anyway, I randomly picked one that was in the middle, and it looks like it's fine. It looks a little smaller in diameter than some of the stuff I normally use, but we'll see. But I wanted to make a quick video putting a chain on this. I will do a separate video on this knife itself. This is a new one I got from Arena Accessories. Very cool little neck knife here. But we'll save that for another video. This is really going to be about putting this chain on here, because it's really simple. You don't have to go to some Chinese website. You can find this, well, it's going to come from China more than likely either way, but you can find, ball and chain, on a spool like this or a roll on Amazon or eBay or various places. You might pay a little bit more, but, if you don't want to deal with those websites, I totally understand why. Again, I don't recommend any of the apps. They really push the app there, and that's where I think a lot of people have issues with the identity, theft and stolen information and stuff like that. So I don't know. I haven't, knock on wood, I haven't had any problems yet. But I don't use the app. I don't like the app. So yeah, we're just gonna pop this on here. Now I'm gonna take this. I won't show on video, but this is an interesting clip on this knife for the sheath. I'm gonna take this off, obviously, because I do want to have it on the neck. I don't need that sheath taking up room. But pretty cool, cool knife. So all we need is some kind of way to cut this. And my favorite way is with the little cutters on a multi-tool. Any multi-tool. This happens to be a Leatherman. This is the Sidekick. So, let's take our little ball and chain out here. We have our connector pieces. We only need one of those. So let's pop one of those out right now. And the ball and chain is nice for a couple reasons. I picked this because it was black, by the way. Most of my ball and chain necklaces are silver. They do reflect light. They do draw a little bit more attention. This is a little subdued, which is nice. But yeah, what the advantage to here is it's lightweight. It's easy to take on and off if you do want to unsnap it. So let's say you want the knife sitting higher on your chest. Like let's say here's your neck. Some people like it way up here, close to the neckline. Some people like it, middle of the chest. Maybe you want to hang it by your belly for some reason. I don't know why. But I like to try to have as high as possible. And sometimes, I prefer being able to have it big enough to slip over my head so I can just take it on and off over my head. But if you want it to sit up high and obviously it doesn't fit over your head, it's nice to have these little connectors so you can undo it, and put it back on. That gives you that option. If you use 550 or something like that, even if it's adjustable, it's kind of a pain to put it on and adjust it constantly. I've been through that quite a bit. I basically get it set to one size and I slip it on and off. But what's also nice about this is for people who are worried about safety concerns, if you use 550 or something, people are worried about getting choked with it or falling and getting hooked on something. If you're one of those people, you don't have to worry about it with the ball and chain because it snaps pretty easily. So if you do have enough pressure on it, it'll just break. That's a good thing for safety, I suppose. It's a bad thing if you don't want to lose your knives. But I'm pretty sure as a neck knife, you would know if it fell off. All right, so how does a knot form? In shipping, this tied itself. That's weird. So yeah, this is a much smaller diameter. I think it worked totally fine though. So I forget what I got here. This is like 15 feet or something. So all you got to do is find the length that you want. All right, so obviously you can't see this because I'm behind the camera. We're going to hold this around my neck to basically get a rough idea of where I want it. And you always want to cut this a little longer than necessary because you could trim off pieces, but you can't add to it. So I'm just holding this around my neck, getting an idea. All right, so I want roughly this much. Take our multi-tool. You use some wire cutters as well. All right, put this in the little jaws on the bottom and squeeze. Whoop. I put it on the very bottom. Right there. All right, super simple. All it does is break the little piece of metal that's in between each ball. All right, so this can get wound back up. Put that away for another day. Got lots of necklaces in there. And you put your little connector piece. You zoom in here, show you this. Again, the bigger these are, the much easier it's going to be. But there's an open end. You put the ball in the middle. Anyway, hold it there, pull it till it snaps. You hear that little snap? So now it's in there. Very simple. And quick little hack, if you don't want to go online to get this, you can go to like a hardware store like Lowe's or Home Depot, and you can buy the ceiling fan chain pulls. It's the same ball and chain, it's just a thicker diameter. Make sure, it's very important, if you have a specific knife in mind, bring it with you to the store so you can make sure that that's going to be small enough to fit through the hole on the sheath that you're using it. All right, but you can get that there. You're going to overpay because you're buying a chain pull, and obviously you want to make sure it's the proper length so you can make a necklace out of it. But just as a quick, like, I don't want to mess around, I just want to get it now, you could do that. You can go in store, buy a chain pull, make sure you have at least one connection on it, obviously to make a loop, and then you're good to go. All right, so now I'm going to do a test run. So we're going to put this through the top eyelet here. On this particular knife, it's only going through one. Sometimes you have a wider sheath that has 2 grommets on top, or 2 eyelets, you could do 2 of them. All right, I'm just going to do a quick little test to see where this is hanging, and if that's a position I want. This is definitely a smaller diameter. I don't remember using anything this small. So I'm curious to see if this is going to be as strong being smaller like this, but that's it. We have our loop. I have my necklace. So I know you can't see this, but bear with me a second. Well, you know what? I did not snap that in. All right, let's try that again. I thought it snapped in, but it didn't. So you get the very end ball, put it in the middle. It might just be the connector. I pinch that shut. Okay, now it's not coming apart. All right, so quick test. Okay, just slips over my head very easily. Just doing it a couple times on and off. It's in a pretty decent position, but I'm gonna cut off like, I don't know, not even like 1/4 of an inch. Basically, just to give you an example, but let's say it was too big. All right, all I gotta do is unsnap that. Let's unsnap the other side since I pinched the one side shut. All right, so unsnap it from your connector. Come in with your pliers. Put that down towards the bottom. You can trim it. You know what I'm saying? You trim it to size. Whatever's gonna work for you. And this will be it'll be a little bit shorter. It'll sit higher in the chest, but again, I want this to be able to slip over my head easily. Man, what a pain, this little one. Normally it's real easy. Just pop that in there. Hold on. I gotta get a closer look. It's not helping that it's black either. The silver one is obviously easier to see. But yeah, all right. So let me zoom in real close. So you can see this. There's a connector piece. You put the little ball in kind of the middle spot and then push through. It's basically just a thin little channel that these metal, I guess bars we'd call them, they just pop in there. That's all. It snaps in, unsnaps. Pretty simple. Let me make sure this is the proper sizing, and then I'm actually going to pinch these shut. Oh yeah. All right, that feels good. It just went up a tiny bit on the chest, but I can still easily slip it over my head and glasses. So I'm just going to go ahead and pinch that end shut on both sides again, just to make sure this doesn't open and close. Now, if you wanted to, you wouldn't do this. You wouldn't pinch it shut if you wanted to unsnap it all the time. But I don't. I'm just slipping over my head, so I'm just going to make sure both of those are nice and snug, so it's not going to accidentally come apart. Okay. And we're good to go. That's it. That's how you add ball and chain to make a necklace for your neck knives. Pretty interesting. Now you can also do this if you wanted to keep a smaller fixed blade in your pocket in the sheath. What you would do is the belt loop that's on your pants, right? You would fish this through the belt loop, open up that hole, put the knife through the hole, just like so. All right, see how this is looped on itself? Does that make sense? and pull it tight. So that would be attached to your belt loop now on your pants. You could slip this into your pocket loose. So now if you just wanted to have like a small fixed blade in your pocket, but you wanted to access it quickly, you could pull it out of the pocket. In this case, this has a nice little, you know, the retention is very well set on this so that I can pop this out. But let's say it's tight, it's hard to do that. Or if you want a quick draw, this would be inside the pocket. You can quickly take it out of your pocket, and as you're pulling it, there's only a certain length here, so you cut this shorter so that when you pull it out of your pocket, it would automatically pop the sheath off for you. All right, so if you need to get to your knife very quickly, you dip in the pocket, you pull out, and it automatically pops the sheath out so that you're good to go. But in most cases, you're not using your knife to defend yourself, right? You could just use it for utility, so it's inside the pocket. Again, this is attached to your pants, right? Your belt loop on your pants. You take it out of the pocket, you pop the sheath off, you make your cuts or whatever, and then with your other hand, you just pick up the sheath to put it back in, and then you can pop it back in your pocket. All right, so just another option if you wanted to do something like this, but you don't like, you know, neck knives. You can use this ball and chain to retain it, you know, the sheath anyway, to your pocket. So there you go. Pretty straightforward stuff. Probably didn't need a video of me telling you how to put this together, but there's one anyway. All right, this is very cool. This is working out fine. I might order more though in a bigger size. There's nothing wrong with this, but I'm used to like about twice that diameter for most of my neck knife stuff. But yeah, interesting. So anyway, I'll make a separate video on this knife if you're interested. Stay tuned for that. But for now, thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Take care.